Hi everybody, it's Elizabeth with the Noonan Carnegie Library, and today we are going to be making bookmarks out of felt and ribbon, and ours are going to look like little animals. So I've got a cat and a fish here that I've completed, and we're going to be making one that is a dog with a little bone on the end. Alright, so I have used a little pattern that I made out of cardstock or paper to cut my two sides for the dog face, front and back, and then also some parts to go on the front of the dog's face, so that'll be his mouth, and a little piece that'll be for his nose at the top. And we're going to attach those with stitches of embroidery floss. And then I have cut out the two sides to the bone, and I'm going to accent that with a darker color of embroidery floss. This is super easy. The stitches are real easy, so it's not going to be a hard thing to do. And you may have to trim things up a little bit once you've cut your two sides out, just to make sure everything matches properly. And so I'll show you on the cat. You can see that I made his eyes out of just some little straight stitches, attached the nose with some stitches, and then did a running stitch around the edge to attach the ribbon and to seal up the two sides with the stuffing on the inside. I did the same thing with the fish, and he's got an eye on each side. And there's a running stitch all the way around the edge. And that running stitch is the only thing I used to attach the ribbon. So super easy, not very hard to do at all. All right, so thank you for joining me, and let's get started. Okay, so get your piece placed onto the front of the face where you want it. And then you want your embroidery floss to have a knot in the bottom, so that when you pull it through the first time from the back side, it will stay in place. And we're just going to start tacking this on with some stitches. And we want them to be kind of even. Start with one at the very top of the nose. That one will probably be covered up by the little black nose, but that'll hold it on. So we've got it coming through the back side. And then we'll come down a little ways and place another stitch. And we're just going to keep doing that until we've got this piece tacked on all the way. And then once we've done that, we'll attach the little black piece of nose. And we'll make some eyes. And I'm just going to make the eyes out of black embroidery floss, kind of like I did on the cat's face, which I made closed eyes on the cat's face, but I think I'll probably just do little dots for the dog's eyes. So let's do this part first. We'll get this all tacked on. You can see I'm just evenly spacing those stitches around the nose and mouthpiece there to keep that in place. Pretty nice. We've got one side done. Keep going all the way around the bottom. And really, you can make anything out of these. Your imagination can go wild. You can make emoji faces, cats, dogs, bugs, unicorns. I've got a unicorn that I'm working on that I actually have done a little more elaborate with, and used mostly embroidery stitches to decorate the unicorn face with. I'll show you that one. And so that one is a little more elaborate, but pretty cute. I'll probably make a little cloud for the bottom piece on that one. Keep your stitches going, like I said, just evenly spaced all the way around. until we're done. I'm getting there. And once you get finished with that part, we'll tie that off on the bottom, on the back side, what will be the inside of this piece, because it'll be backed by the other piece. So you won't see any of these back sides of these stitches will be hidden by the cotton batting in the back side of the dog head. There we go. One more, and we'll tie that off. So you've got a whole series of even stitches all the way around. And then on the back, what we're going to do is go under the last stitch with the needle. And pull that through, and then make us a little knot by going under the loop that's created and pulling it tight up against the back. And that just makes a little knot that ties off our thread, so that we can then trim it close and be finished with that piece of color, that color of thread for now. So there's our little knot right there, and it just holds that thread in place, just like the first little knot did. And so now we want to attach the nose, so we're going to switch to our black thread. We won't need near as much thread for that. And get a nice knot in the bottom. I'm going to attach that little black piece of nose and make little black eyes at the same time. All right. Okay, so now we're going to attach the nose and then put the little dots for eyes. And we're doing that with our black thread. And the same thing we're doing to attach the nose that we did to attach the nose and mouth piece. We're just going to do even stitches all the way around. And there's a little knot in the back of the thread to hold the thread in place. And again, I'm going to start at the very top. And just even stitches all the way around, just like we did with the other piece. so I've got the nose all the way attached, and now I'm going to do, with the same thread, a couple of dots for the eyes. And pick a good spot for that. And just a couple of stitches, one over the other. So, there's one eye. I'm going to do the other. Just a little thicker. I'm going to do one more stitch for each one. There we go. And we got two little eyes. And I'm going to tie that off on the back just like I did with the other one. Go under one of your stitches and pull that through, and then through the loop that you made to tie your stitch off with a little knot. There we go. And then trim it close. All right, so the only thing we've got left to do is our run-in stitches all the way around to attach. And we're going to start here and go up and around and go to here, and then that way, after we put the cotton batting in, we'll be able to finish the stitching across the bottom right there when we add the ribbon in. So we're going to use our blue-gray thread to do that running stitch with. And you want to start the same way you did with the other stitches, with a little knot on the end, and that knot is going to go on the inside. So we're going to run our needle through just one side first. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Got a knot in the end. That's going to hold our thread in place. And so I'm going to take just one side and start from the bottom and go up. And so that way the knot will be on the inside. And then I'll put my two pieces together and start my running stitch like this. And so go through, and then we're going to make another stitch on the back. And you want to keep these kind of even. So you go through from the back to the front. And so there's a stitch on the back right there, and a stitch on the front right there. And then we're going to go through and make another stitch on the front. So the running stitch, what it looks like when it's finished is that you have a stitch in every other place. But really what it is you have a stitch for every space, one of those stitches is on the front side and one is on the back side. So it looks like you've made a stitch in every other space, but what you've done is made a stitch here on the back, a stitch in the open space is on the front, and a stitch here on the back. And that's how we're going to attach our two pieces together, so that they're solidly attached, but it also makes for a neat little effect on your handcrafted items like that too. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing with the bone, but I'm going to do it in this brown thread. And so I'm going to go ahead and complete my running stitches, leaving a gap at the top of the bone and the bottom of the dog face. And once we've completed that, we'll add the cotton in the inside to make it puffy, and then we'll add the ribbon. So I'm going to go finish my running stitches, and when I come back I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so we've got all of our running stitches done on both the dog face and the bone. And now what we're going to do is stuff them with cotton balls and attach our ribbon. And so we need about 8 inches of ribbon. Let's see here, approximately. To run between the two pieces, so about 8 inches of ribbon. And I'm going to stuff these with cotton. And so just kind of pull your cotton ball apart to make it a little fluffier. And you can use a pencil or something to help you get it where you want it to be on the inside, down into the ears and that sort of thing. Let's see here. There we go. Get some cotton up into the ears. Any kind of thin penciler device will help you do that. Like I said, just kind of make it nice and fluffy. Stick it down in there. And once you've got that full, and do the same thing with the bone, then you'll put the ribbon piece into the bottom here. We'll seal that, and we'll finish our running stitches and get our bone stuffed. Okay, so once you've got them all stuffed and fluffed, then we're going to put the ribbon in. And seal that up with a few more running stitches that we will also run through the ribbon to keep it in place. So, I'll show you how to do that. Go. Run that through. So that's going through both layers of the bone and also through the ribbon that we put on the inside there. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. we get to the place where our running stitches are all completed, then we're going to go ahead and make a knot, but this time we're going to go between the two layers and catch an internal stitch. So let me see if I can make it a little more clear. Just go in between the two layers of bone, catch one of your internal stitches, and pull your thread through. Keep your ribbon out of the way. Okay. Get the ribbon out of the way. Okay, so you've gone into an internal stitch there on the inside, and you've created a loop. So now we're going to go through the loop just like we did when we tied the stitches off on the backs of the face. And we're going to pull that tight and tuck that down into the bone. So that knot will just go down in there, and we'll pull that tight. And then we'll trim our thread off. And tuck that internal stitch in. And now we've got our bone on our ribbon, and we're going to attach the other end of the ribbon to the bottom of our dog face the same way. So tuck your ribbon in good. Okay. So we've got our ribbon tucked into our dog face good, and we're just going to complete our running stitches to seal up the bottom of the dog face and keep that ribbon attached at the same time. Just like that. Keep going across. There we go. Okay. There we go. Two, oh, I think just one. Okay. And we are at the end. So we're gonna tie this off the same way we did the last time. Catch an internal stitch and make a good little loop there. And then we're gonna go through the loop and pull that knot tight to the inside of our little dog face, and then trim off our thread, and we have our completed bookmark. So this can go between the pages of the book, and we've got a little dog face with a bone, just like our little cat face with the fish that we did. All right. And again, you can get as creative as you want with these shapes, and I really hope you enjoyed doing this craft with me today. Thank you so much for joining me. Please make sure and check our noonandcarnegie.com webpage, and also our Facebook page and our Instagram for other videos and fun tutorials. Thanks so much, guys.